Okay, so another thing that you might want to use for your lamp design is what's called a low poly design, which could end up looking really awesome for this project. So I just want to show you how to do that. It's pretty straightforward. So here's my sides. I'm going to bring in a picture of something, and I already have a picture, I think, of a llama saved in my files here. So yep, there's a llama. Open. It's a really big image, but I'm not too worried about that because I have this infinite canvas and I can do my drawing and then I can move it later. So a low poly design is like taking a photograph and using polygons to create that shape. So you create the image using polygons, and it looks pretty cool usually, and it might look really cool with light shining through it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower the opacity of this picture. We did this before, and then I'm going to lock it, right this. And then I'm going to take the pen tool, and I'm just going to do since it's low poly, I'm not too worried about detail. I'm just going to do a very simple border click. Might zoom in a little bit to get a little more. Curve. And we'll do the legs here. Looks like a little hoof right there. And the other hoof looks like it's kind of hidden underneath that rock. So I'm just going to kind of estimate what I think the hoof. And you'll notice that I'm doing a lot of clicks, and there's a reason for that because I'm going to need them as part of my poly design. There's a space here, but I'm thinking now I might just kind of make those all one leg just for the sake of time. And there's my design. And then I'm going to make the border thicker. I'm going to make it 3-point border. And I might make it thicker later on, maybe make it 5. I'm going to probably end up changing the size a little bit. And then the second part is you actually don't even need the picture anymore, so I can just sort of hide it. And then what you're going to do is you just sort of start creating triangles. It's really kind of cool. So what I can do is I'm going to start here. I'm going to go out here, here, and create a triangle. And basically what you do is you just sort of create these triangle shapes. And you'll notice I have that flat there, so I'm just going to. And it's okay if things get thicker or thinner, because remember, we're going to be lasering these out. Basically, I'm going to speed through this part, probably speed up this part, and then talk about it at the end. So I'm going to pause the video, and then I'll be sort of done. But basically, you sort of work your way around. The only thing you have to be careful of is sometimes when you have a shape selected, you'll notice it will want to subtract that spot. So you always have to sort of start in a different spot. And if I come out here, that. Oh. So I'm just sort of making these shapes. And basically, you'll see what happens when I'm going to pause the video temporarily, finish it, and then you'll come back and sort of see what I'm doing there. Okay, so now you can see that I've actually finished filling all this in with some triangles and shapes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the sub-select here. And I'm not sure what the line thickness I want yet. I've changed everything to 2. So I'm just actually going to change everything to 1 right now. And eventually I think I will need to change it to 2. But I'll change it to 1. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything. Oh, I missed the ears there. I'm going to select the whole thing. And I'm going to temporarily group it like that. And then I'm going to drag it using the, not sub-select, sorry, the regular select. I'm going to drag this up. Oh, I did not get all of it. And drag this up into my lamp. And basically you can see what happens is now, like, I have, if the laser is going to cut out all this white space, that's where the light's going to shine through. But those lines are actually too thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the sub-select. And I'm going to sub-select everything. I do actually have this back piece of my lamp. I actually locked it. And you can see down here, left outside cut path. I actually locked it so I wouldn't mess around with it. And I can work sort of on top of it. So I'm going to use the sub-select to select the entire shape. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to change it to like 3 point. And you'll see that what that's done, that's actually pretty good. Now it's made everything thicker. So like these laser pieces will probably cut out a little better. I might even make it a little thicker. So try just to think about the laser cutting that out. So maybe 4. That's pretty good. The problem with that, though, really quickly, you'll notice when we sort of deselect, is that some of these little pieces are really, really small. So what I might do with some of these is just kind of delete some of them or shift them a little bit just to make their triangles bigger or their shapes bigger. That one's pretty good, just to kind of get some bigger cut spaces. And this one, you can see it's pretty, if I double click on it, I can get my sub-select and just kind of pull these. Basically what I'm doing is I'm kind of yeah, see that's going into there, so I'll just bring that down. Sort of making these shapes. Double clicking with the sub-select, just kind of making some of these shapes a little bigger so that they cut a little better. That looks good. But you can see, so what I've done is like I've got this llama shape now that's like made out of triangles. So it's like a completely different, and then you can imagine all the light just kind of shining through there. So it's like another way to kind of create an interesting looking lamp feature. And then, you know, maybe you go in and you use some more triangles, like get their fill to be white. There we go. You know, maybe you have these as sort of part of it too, you know, just to kind of add some interest and so forth. All right, so that's the low poly design, kind of a basic, really basic way to do it. You can get way more complex, but just wanted to sort of show you that, just sort of an interesting way to create new shapes and new designs. Might be something you'd be interested in.